Robin Murdoch outside Detroit Police Headquarters, where a suspect is in custody at this hour, connected to 2 stabbings over the weekend. How police were able to catch up with that suspect and how those 2 victims are doing, the answer straight ahead.
And lawmakers in Washington once again facing a funding deadline to avoid a government shutdown. The latest plan to keep the doors open.
Streets in Gaza remain war zones. I'm Jackie Ibanez. The latest on the escalating battles in northern Gaza as the Israel-Hamas war rages on. That's all straight ahead.
Working for you. Fox 2 News Live at 11 starts now.
Lots more to come from overseas, but first, let's start right here. Good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm Amy Lange.
I'm Brandon Hudson.
Yeah, well, right now, you can expect some travel delays along I-275 through Plymouth, Canton, Westland, Van Buren Township, and Romulus. All northbound I-275 entrance and exit ramps between Eureka and the I-96 M14 interchange are now closed. This as crews work to shift northbound traffic from the shared southbound side of I-275 onto the newly rebuilt northbound side of the freeway. The good news, the closures are not expected to last long. MDOT says it plans to have everything open up around 3 o'clock this afternoon.
And we will continue to follow some breaking news this morning from Detroit's east side. I want you to check this out here. Seriously damaged, charred vehicle wedged between a shipping container and a building. Now, police are investigating this crash. This was the scene around 2 this morning at 7 Mile and Van Dyke. The fire department also responded. It is not clear exactly how this ended up here. Police are not saying how the driver is doing or if there were any other passengers.
And now to a developing story in Warren, where 4 people are hurt in a shooting. The bullets flying early yesterday morning in the area of Groesbeck and 10 Mile. Well, so far, investigators are not releasing any information about the identity or condition of victims. It's also not clear if there are any suspects or arrests in this case. But if you can help with the investigation, please give Warren Police a call right away.
A lot of big news happening overnight and this morning. And we also have this. A man is in custody after police say he spent his Sunday randomly terrorizing 2 men on Detroit's west side.
Pretty scary stuff. Investigators say the suspect stabbed his victims blocks apart from each other. The attacks launched a brief manhunt. Fox 2's Robin Murdoch is at police headquarters with the latest on the case.
At last check, one of the victims did remain in critical condition. The other was in temporary serious condition after suddenly being stabbed by the suspect in question, a suspect who was thankfully off of the streets before anyone else was hurt or even worse.
He did have the same black hoodie on, so that helps quite a bit. So we're moving in the right direction.
According to Detroit's assistant police chief, this picture of a suspect wanted for 2 stabbings on the city's west side over the weekend, and someone who recognized him from it helped get the culprit into custody and once again returned calm to the area. The assaults described as vicious, random, and were apparently over cash or a lack of it.
Folks are just tired of the senseless violence. They're tired of it. They don't have to live in their houses and be terrified to go to the store to get something and have some guy jump out and ask for money and attack you for money. And they're just tired of it.
Police responded to the first stabbing near Dexter and Taylor around 11:30 on Sunday morning. About an hour later, roughly a mile away, near Grand River and Clarendon, also on the city's west side, a second similar incident. In both situations, the victims were in their 60s and were repeatedly stabbed.
The first one's in such bad condition, he's unable to talk. He's going to need all kinds of prayers and support for him. He is struggling right now.
Police were, however, able to track down a couple different surveillance photos of the suspect, quickly sharing them on social media and with anyone they encountered while canvassing the area in which the crimes occurred. Within hours, someone who believed they knew the suspect led investigators to a nearby house on Linsdale, where he was arrested.
The chief says it all the time. They are absolutely our best partner in this business. And we're very, very fortunate to, between that and our technology, we were able to find the right person.
Now, police are not saying much about the suspect currently in custody, only that he is in his late 20s. Of course, when their investigation is complete, a report will be sent to the prosecutor's office regarding formal charges. Reporting from outside Detroit Police Headquarters, I'm Robin Murdoch for Fox 2 News.
Macomb County deputies, they want to know what caused a driver to crash into and kill a pedestrian in Harrison Township. It happened yesterday here at Metro Parkway and North Point, which was closed. The scene was pretty much cleared, but here's what we found out. The police say that the driver stayed on scene and was taken into custody. However, so far detectives are not releasing any information about the cause of the crash or the identities of the people who are involved. We do expect to learn much more about this case later today.
And the former JV boys basketball coach at Farmington High School is due back in court today. A preliminary exam is scheduled for 43-year-old Jeremy Tompkins. He's facing criminal sexual conduct charges for allegedly assaulting teenage boys at his Detroit home during what he called overnight study sessions. Today, the prosecutor will present evidence to the judge to determine if the case will move forward. Tompkins faces up to 17 years in prison if convicted. And there are just 4 days left for lawmakers on Capitol Hill to avoid a government shutdown. Once again, they're taking it down to the wire. Newly elected House Speaker Mike Johnson has proposed another temporary measure that would fund the government into early February and buy more time to come up with a long-term budget. But it does not include any spending cuts or additional aid to Israel, so it likely will not get enough Republican support to pass. A similar deal with passed with the help of Democrats in September and cost Kevin McCarthy his job as Speaker, leading to Johnson's election. Many federal agencies are already taking steps to prepare for a shutdown on Friday.
And a shutdown could affect the aid getting over to the Middle East as thousands continue to escape northern Gaza and head south. They're hoping to find safety. This as Israeli troops ramp up military operations in the Gaza Strip in retaliation against Hamas for its deadly attack in Israel last month that sparked this war. And now unrest is spreading across the region. Fox's Jackie Ibanez has the latest.
Tanks and machine guns reverberating across northern Gaza as Israeli forces escalate ground operations against Hamas terrorists held up in the region.
The IDF forces at this time continue to attack the Hamas strongholds in the heart of Shati refugee camp and deepen the raids into the heart of Gaza City.
The Israeli military is amplifying pressure on an area surrounding Gaza City's Al-Shifa hospital, accusing Hamas of building and operating a command center in and under the medical facility.
Gaza will be demilitarized, and there will no longer be a threat from the Gaza Strip to the state of Israel.
Al-Shifa is one of many hospitals in Gaza that doctors say is in desperate need of supplies and fuel to keep baby incubators and other systems running. On Sunday, officials from the Israel Defense Forces say they delivered around 80 gallons of fuel near Al-Shifa after allegedly coordinating the drop-off with hospital staff. But the IDF says the fuel was never picked up.
The Hamas leadership, through the Hamas Health Ministry, is stopping and putting pressure on the hospital not to come and pick it up.
The intensifying combat and limited food and water in the north is causing more Palestinians to evacuate to crowded refugee camps in the south. Meanwhile, Israel's war against Hamas is causing tensions to boil over in the Middle East. In response to ongoing attacks against American forces overseas, the U.S. on Sunday launched 2 new airstrikes on Iranian-backed proxy groups in Syria. Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.